Hey guys, Suzana here. So today's video is going to be all about the new Patrick Ta Dimensions or Major Dimensions eyeshadow palette. I had to get my hands on this. I mean, I was trying to fight it, but you know, that was silly of me. This palette is just full of tones that I just very much enjoy. I love me some brown shades. This has some bronzy shades in there as well. It has some warm browns, some neutral browns. Just overall a really beautiful palette for a brown makeup or a brown eyeshadow lover like myself. We have two cream eyeshadows. It's got some mattes, it's got some shimmers, it's got a few kind of more like topper shades. I'm telling you guys, just a lot of what I like and enjoy from an eyeshadow palette. So I wanted to know what type of versatility this palette would actually give us, because sometimes we get an array of eyeshadows that are from the same family, but those eyeshadows don't necessarily work very well with each other, or at some point all of the looks just end up being relatively the same. So like I said, I wanted to know what kind of looks I can get out of this, but I don't like creating a lot of complicated looks. As much as I like makeup, I just don't like to complicate things. So I feel that all the looks that I created are fairly easy to recreate. And if you guys have even a fraction of the collection that I have, you may already have eyeshadows in these same shades, same tones, because I know I do over and over. But like I said, these are tones that I really like, and it was just a formula that I was very curious about. Honestly, I was hearing a lot of people already starting to rave about the palette, and these are other makeup fanatics that I myself speak to pretty regularly, so I trust their opinion. And so yeah, I was very much persuaded to go ahead and pick this up. I also posted a poll on my Instagram, and the majority of people definitely voted for me to go ahead and pick it up. So hello, here we are. I ended up filming 3 separate days because I wanted to create a different look, and not just a different eye look, but a different look overall. Today's video is strictly about the eyeshadow, but I just wanted to show, I mean, this is what I love to do kind of. It's really playing with makeup and just showing how I can actually create different complete looks using the same eyeshadow palette, and just, you know, to change things up a little bit. So the first look that I am going to demo is going to be the one that I'm wearing right now. This is my version of a very simple 90s inspired makeup look, and then I also have a real quick bronzy eye look to create as well with this palette, followed by a very simple, almost angelic, I don't know why I feel weird saying like an angelic look, so let's just stick with a simple like everyday look. So I'm gonna go ahead and start off with the eyeshadow demos, and then we'll come back and I'll share my full review on this eyeshadow palette. I also forgot to mention, I did also buy 2 of his eyeliners. What are these called? The Precision Gel Liners. So I picked up the cream shade as well as their deep bronze. So we're gonna talk about these as well as soon as we come back. I hope you guys enjoyed my demos. Let me know which was your favorite look. So, okay, let's start off first with the look that I'm wearing right now, my version of a quick, simple 90s look. So I ended up, of course, using only matte shades from this palette, but I did start off with the cream eyeshadow just because I want to see its versatility more. So I wanted to touch a little bit on these cream shadows because today, much earlier in the day, I went ahead and just used one of the cream shadows, and I actually ended up using the deeper shade to see if this is in fact an eyeshadow that you can wear on its own, or if it's something that only performs well when mixed in with other traditional eyeshadows, or do I have to set it? Like, what, if possible, is a way for me to use one of these cream shadows. And so what I ended up doing is on one of my eyes, I just went straight in and applied the shadow with my finger. I grabbed a brush and blended out the edges. I did the same with my right eye, except that I did use an eyeshadow primer. And of course I had to use my Fenty Beauty Pro Filter primer. I love this, and I think especially when using cream eyeshadow, something like this that leaves a little bit of that tackiness behind is going to grip your eyeshadows better, especially if it's a cream shadow. The side that I did not prime on ended up creasing fairly quickly, and by the end of the day, or actually right before I washed my face to come down to film, the crease here was extremely thick and dark. But the eyeshadow everywhere else still looked pretty even. It actually still looked pretty good. I could have just gone in with my finger to tap that, but I didn't have to do anything on my right eye where I did prime, so it held up really, really well. And it just makes me happy that I can use one of these cream shadows on their own and not have to worry about applying any type of powder over. I'm somebody that I always prime my eyes if I'm going to use eyeshadow. So for me, that's not going to be a big deal. The mattes, I think, perform so nice. They blend very easily and they have a really good pigment. I also ended up using one of the cream eyeshadows as eyeliner, and it worked really well for that as well. One thing I do want to say, and just to cover all my bases here, is that there is quite a bit of kick up when going into these shadows with your brush. I love that Patrick Ta ended up using one of these plastic dividers so that the powder doesn't get in these, because the way that these eyeshadows do kick up, it would have definitely caused a mess here. So we're good with that. There's a little bit of kick up, but it's not too much of an issue. I mean, not for me at least. Just do be careful, because when you go tap off your brush, a lot will get on your vanity, your table, wherever you sit to do your makeup. So I just did want to point that out, but no complaints. For the second look that I created, the bronzy look, very nice. I ended up using one of the cream eyeshadows as like a base, and then I went in with a mixture of formulas in here. There are a few eyeshadows in here that are like that matte with like the glitter kind of embedded in there. I don't even know how they get it in there, but the point is that once you start actually blending, you don't see any of that sparkle. So I always find those kind of eyeshadows a little bit pointless, but I mean, they're so nice. Maybe if you tap it on your lids and not do a lot of blending, you'll see some of that sparkle. Anyway, I ended up using one of those shades as well. Everything still ended up looking and performing very, very nicely. Most of these metallic shades I've only used with my finger and I've had no issue with fallout, and I find that they actually last really well. For my more like everyday, like simple eyeshadow look, like you can pretty much wear anywhere to, that look I just adored. I thought it was really cute. Again, I ended up using a mixture of these shades and textures, and they just perform very nicely. They last all day. I've had no issues with creasing, and I also haven't really seen that the eyeshadows fade. So by the end of the day, my eye makeup still ends up looking really nice. Besides the demos that I filmed, I have used this palette 2 other times and I'm happy with it. I really have no actual complaints on it. I personally am very happy that I got to try it out for myself. I think that's it. I think it's lovely. And yeah, you guys let me know what you think about this palette. Is this something that you just feel like, I've seen this color story over and over and over, I'm over it? Or are you like me, like just a makeup lover? Did this palette speak to you like it spoke to me? Let me know in the comments down below. If you guys, I forgot about these again. I already did my outro. I had already said goodbye to you guys. I started turning off stuff and I was like, oh wait, eyeliners. So as I mentioned earlier during the video, I did also pick up 2 of the eyeliners that were also released with this collection. I think there were a total of 4. These are really nice. I wear contacts. For me, eyeliners are very difficult. I'm extremely picky with them. I mean, I have to be. I get a little nervous when I try out new eyeliners, but these have been very nice. So again, I have the cream one on right now and it's really nice. The color itself is actually perfect. Not all cream like shade eyeliners work equally for everybody, so thankfully the cream shade did work really well for me. Bronzy eyeliners, I mean, they're my thing. So I'm happy that I like this one as well. Now I'm going to be honest, I have not tried these like as an actual eyeliner and then like smudged it out, but I've only tried them in the waterline, so I can only attest to that. As far as what their blendability is, I really don't know. So yeah, if you guys have these or if you've heard anything about these, you can share with us in the comments down below, because I guess I don't have all that much information on them, but I like them. I like them for the waterline. They're really pretty, and I'm happy with the 2 shades that I ended up selecting as well. All right, so now I think I've covered everything. I just wanted to keep it simple and concise, just as the eye looks that I created. If you guys liked this video, if you found it informative, please make sure to give me a thumbs up. It really does help out my channel a lot. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out any of my future videos. Thank you guys so much for spending some time with me today. Until next time.